The first fire levy passed in Mon County. It took effect on July 1st, 2016. Now it was a 5-year levy. It will end on June 30th, 2021. Now, benefiting from that levy, there are 12 volunteer departments, one hazardous incident response team, one brush fire team, and the Mon County Volunteer Fire Companies Association. The volunteer fire departments are responsible for responding to over 70% of the population in Monongalia County. Total population at the time that this was written is about 105,612 people. Of that total, Morgantown is showing a population of 29,660. Now, even though Morgantown does have a paid fire department, any time that a resident goes outside the city limits and they would have an emergency, it will be a volunteer fire department responding. All those receiving levy money must file a quarterly report with the county commission. The commission requires that a separate account must be set up for the levy money. The levy report must include date, check number, paid to, reason for payment, and the amount. If the reports are not filed in a timely manner, then the next levy check is not sent out until the reports are filed. Levy money is used for necessary expenses such as workman's comp, insurance on buildings and equipment, utilities, equipment maintenance repairs, truck repairs and fuel, equipment purchases, radio and communications, training, and insurance is a very expensive and necessary expense. One thing that the common layperson who's not involved with the volunteer fire departments, they never even stop and think that we all have bills. Well, the volunteer fire departments have bills just like everyone else, and the only difference is a lot of times their bills are quite a bit higher. When you consider putting full coverage insurance on maybe 3 or 4 trucks, you've got to have insurance on all your members. The workman's comp, all that kind of stuff adds up to some really big dollars. And I know it's hard for people that's not involved to really understand what it takes to keep the doors open. Well, and also now, with this nationwide situation we're in, the volunteer fire departments can no longer have any kind of benefits to raise money. And of course, also too, it's extremely hard to get new members because of all the hours of training that a person has to take before they can even be at the fire department. And then once you put in what we call firemanship 1, then there's all kind of other classes. Once you get into the fire department, there's all kind of other classes that will have to be taken. And it's pretty much continuous. Our training is right up there with the paid fire departments. The big difference is we're volunteers. The big thing the Fire Association itself has is we take care of the Peddler Run Tower site, and upgrading that site right now has been $10,461.69. There is more work to be done on that tower. And we have to keep that tower up for the western end of the county. This proposed levy being voted on would be for 4 years beginning July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2025. The departments decided to ask for a 3% increase for the second, third, and fourth years. Funding for the first year would be $50,000 for each of the 12 fire departments and the hazardous incident response team. $10,000 would go to the brush fire team, and $15,000 would go to the Volunteer Firemen's Association. Now, the second year would show a 3% increase. It would be $51,500 for each of the departments and the hazardous incident response team, $10,000 and $10,300 for the brush fire team, $15,450 for the fire association. Third year, with the 3% increase, would go to $53,000 for the departments and hazardous incident response team, $10,600 for the brush fire team, $15,900 for the fire association. The fourth year, with that 3% increase, would be $54,500 for the department and the hazardous incident response team, $10,900 for the brush fire team, and $16,350 for the fire association. Now, even with this 3% increase, the levy rate on each $100 of assessed valuation will not cost the property owners an increase. The current levy, Class 1 levy rate, is 42 cents per $100 of assessed value. The new levy rate is 38 cents the first year, 39 cents the second year, 40 cents the third year, and 41 cents the fourth year. These new rates will reflect the increase of property values since the original levy. And like I said, I definitely want to stress how important the volunteer fire departments are, not only in Monongalia County, throughout the state, throughout the nation. And they are starting to dwindle. Membership, the cost to try to keep the doors open, and you know, we're so dependent upon any kind of benefits that we can do, just whatever it takes to try to make money. And these are the same people that 2-3 o'clock in the morning, if you have an emergency, they're going to be there. And they'll be the ones doing the benefits and everything else. So it is extremely time consuming to be a volunteer, but it does take a special type person. I can go into some of the projected projects that some of the fire departments have, but pretty much every one of them either has additions onto their building or upgrade of equipment. Your hose, you have so many years, and then that hose is actually out of service. The same with your fire trucks. So many years, and now these are guidelines set up by state and federal. And it's just, you've got to stay with this, and it is extremely hard. It really is. The upper echelon membership of each department really has to stay on top of this, plus make sure that their members are outfitted with the proper things that they need. So it is extremely hard. But I just hope and pray that the people in Mon County will take notice and do whatever they can to get this levy passed to help fund the volunteer fire departments.